Alright everyone, how you guys doing? I am so happy right now, and you can probably tell from my face that I am happy. I am really happy. I was actually just going out the door and got an email, and I was frigging over the moon and just done what I had to do, and I'm going to share with you what happened. So this video is in relation to PayPal, which is a nightmare. When it's a nightmare, it's a nightmare. I've had my fair share of frauds and stuff that's happened with me. I've been using PayPal for maybe about 10, 11 years. Ever since eBay kicked off, I would sell stuff around the house and just kind of make a buck where I could. They say one man's junk is another one's treasure. So I was just selling random stuff, and my first fraud that happened was about good 12 years ago. I'd just gotten into high school and I was selling a Nokia phone, and the guy was in Romania somewhere, and what the guy done was he stole the credit card and he changed the shipping address, so when he paid me, it was logical for me to go to the post office and post his phone away, which I done. The moment I got back from the post office, I got an email from PayPal saying, "Don't post the package because this is a fraudulent transaction." So I was like, okay. Phoned the post office, and it had already left the post office, so I phoned up Royal Mail HQ and said to them, "Look, this is the tracking number, stop this package and return it to me, and just stop it because it's a fraudulent transaction." Only to my surprise, Royal Mail told me over the phone, the only way we can stop your package or do anything with your package is if you tell us it's a threat to the Queen, or if you tell us there's a bomb in the package, which I just hung the phone up because it was neither, and that was my package gone. And at that time PayPal was shabby. It still is shabby, but it was even more shabbier then. I just lost the money, I lost the phone, so I was in negative balance pretty much, which was awful. And over since the past 12 years, I've had the odd item where it's gone missing and I haven't sent it tracked, and the buyers claimed that it's just not arrived, or where the transaction's still happening where people are buying stuff, it's sent tracked, but it's still a fraudulent credit card or a debit card, and PayPal's investigation takes friggin' 2 months, and by that time you just kind of give up. But the most recent transaction that happened, and it got me really annoyed, is kind of something new, and I really wasn't expecting it. In July, I put my MacBook Air up for sale, my 2011 version. Put it up for sale, and it got quite a lot of questions, a lot of interest, people phoning up and genuinely interested in it. And then came one transaction, or one customer who said, "I'm really interested, but I need the MacBook tonight because I'm setting it up for my mate who's a DJ." And the guy even phoned me up, so he was one of the two callers that actually phoned up, and he sounded genuine. When someone phones you up and says, A, they're interested in your item, and B, they want to collect the item from you, you're like, this is genuine, and there's no way someone who you're meeting face to face can be fake. So I said, okay, yeah, sure, you can meet tonight. I'll do the restore and fresh install and everything. So I'd done that. Yeah, I had lots of work that day. So knowing that this guy's mates needs the laptop tonight because he's a DJ and he's just setting up a new club or whatever, I cancelled pretty much quite a few tasks that day and done the laptop. Then for some reason he phoned me up and said, "Look, can you meet me here because I've not got a car?" Okay, so first he was saying to meet him some place just outside Glasgow. I was like, okay, that's not going to happen. So I chose a location. I said, okay, we'll meet on this street, and it's one of the main streets in Glasgow. A lot of murders happen on the street. No, I'm joking. This street is like a prime street, buses, it's just always nightclubs and stuff, and there's a bank right outside. There's not just one bank, there's like 4 or 5 banks. And I chose a location that would be kind of safe, a lot of police activity, or I didn't want to have this MacBook exchange where I would get gunned down or something, or if something would happen. So I thought, okay, choose a location, somewhere where I could say, this was where my car's parked, come and get a MacBook. And he'd already paid by PayPal at this moment, just bear in mind. So it was just a case of him collecting the item. So we met in the street, he came and sat in the car, he had the hoodie on, and at the time, I just kind of overlooked it. He had a hoodie on, even although it wasn't raining, and he didn't check the MacBook as well. You know, the MacBook was in a brown cardboard box in original packaging as it's shipped from the Apple HQ. And when I gave the box over to him, he was sitting in the passenger seat. I was like, open it up and check if the MacBook was there or not. He goes, no, And he was pretty calm about it, He was genuinely... You wouldn't think the person sitting next to you, the person you're doing a transaction face-to-face, that he would be a con man. And I'm like, boot it up and see if it works. Open it up and see if it works. I don't want you calling me later down the line saying X, Y, or Z is missing. He goes, no, mate, you know what, it's okay, I trust you, I believe you. And he was, with a calm voice. And then, as he was about to leave, I was like, I'll drop you off where you want to go, because I was going that way anyway. And I asked him like 2 or 3 times, but he says, no, my girlfriend just stays around the corner, it's okay, I don't need a lift. I asked him 2 or 3 times, he says, no. He left off, and that was it. No communication. And I think maybe 2 or 3 days after, I checked the boot of the car where the MacBook was originally placed, and the charger kind of slipped out. So I tried to phone him, left a voicemail, and I phoned him a few other times, but it would just go straight to his voicemail. I said, mate, the charger is lying in my boot, where shall I drop it off? No communication at all. And then 6 weeks later, he left feedback. I have positive feedback. I got an email from PayPal saying the £950 for the MacBook has been put on hold. We've taken it out from your account, it's on hold, and an investigation has been launched, and it can take up to 75 days, and you won't, there's no chance of you getting your money back. No, let me rephrase this. 75 days for the investigation, and you could lose your money, something along those lines. And I was like, holy crap. This is the mother of all frauds. And I was checking the reasoning as to why they put this on hold or why they called it back. Unauthorised transaction, and I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Someone who you're doing business with face to face. It's the first, it's the first time it's happening, and I would have never thought. It's just a fraud to a whole new level. I guess I've just never experienced it. Again, I've had odd few transactions, £5-10, but I just don't even bother fighting them, because it's just such a hassle getting the postage receipts, or finding the postage receipts and sending them off to PayPal, getting or hearing back from them, and it's a usual case of PayPal going in the buyer's favour because of X, Y, or Z. But because this transaction was £950 worth, there was no way I was going to let PayPal away. So I spent the whole night trying to look through forums and see how these legal cases pan out, and I got all the evidence whereby I printed off the buyer's feedback. I got my telephone record when I was speaking to the guy, at what time, how long I spoke to him for. I then the following day went to the police station, and just to kind of cover all my back. And gave them the evidence, and the police station didn't really get what I was trying to say to them. The police station, what they said was, we can't really do anything. We'll open up an incident report, but we really can't do anything. Our hands are tied, and PayPal usually is pretty good at dealing with these things. I'm like, no, they aren't. PayPal are not good at dealing with these things. The only thing they're good at dealing with is going in the favour of the buyer. And especially because the guy had paid through PayPal, and there was no tracking information. One of the things that PayPal really kind of forces or helps is if you've got postage receipts or tracking information which proves that it was posted to the confirmed address on file, then they're a bit okay. But because the buyer collected it, the only kind of proof that I had that he was satisfied was the fact that he'd left feedback. If he hadn't left feedback, this case would have just gone in the buyer's favour in total. So the police were they put up a report and said, look, if PayPal don't do anything, come back to us with this incident report, and it's a long process, it's a lot of paperwork and so on, and that's that. So then I went to the area where I specifically parked my car and where the exchange took place. I looked around the banks and stuff to see where there was CCTV. It was a bit like, something like you see in TV dramas and stuff. Looking around on the street, No, sorry, before, at the police station, I was like, can I go round the banks and ask for CCTV footage and see and if I can get this guy? Well, I didn't really want this guy going around and doing the same thing to others. I presume he's an expert at this, and he's done it to other people before. And surely you'd expect CCTV cameras outside the bank or even on the main street. Although there were CCTV cameras on that street, they're only taking video for them for 2 weeks, and after that they delete it. So all this Big Brother nonsense and CCTVs, the videos on the high street are only recorded for 2 weeks, which is a fail. I was also really annoyed with the fact that 6 weeks later, PayPal decided to just, without even consulting me, just taking the money out of my account, and that's it. That's what got me annoyed as well, and that's kind of, I've learnt a lesson that don't keep more than like £300 in your account, because 6 weeks after a transaction, they can do anything with your account. That is an absolute joke. So I went to the area where the transaction took place, and I looked around the banks, Clydesdale, RBS, and there was no CCTV to be seen. And I didn't really want to look like a creeper going inside, and there was no chance the banks were going to give me footage, which should probably be against the data protection. I guess I was just kind of trying to cover all areas, but got back in the car and moved on. Got home. I called the FSA, the Financial Services Authority, who told me to get in touch with the Financial Ombudsman. I don't know how that's pronounced, but I'm going to pronounce it that way. I contacted them and they were really, really helpful. So what the FBO, the Financial Ombudsman, is, they fight on behalf of you. So they can order PayPal or any financial company to pay up if they're in the wrong. So they set up a complaint, they sent it off to PayPal, and then PayPal got their act together and got back to me within like 5 days saying, we acknowledge your complaint through the FBO, and it's going to take only 4 weeks to investigate. So they got their act together. Basically, the FBO is pretty good because even if you don't win the case, PayPal still has to pay £360 just because you filed a complaint, and it takes no money whatsoever to file a complaint against any financial institution. So it's a loss for them in any case. So I'm not sure what the reasoning was for them sending me an email today saying the subject was something like provisional credit. That's what the subject, how it was written. Why could they not just freaking write PayPal credited or something like that? So I just got the email, extremely happy. The moment I seen the funds in my account, withdrew it to my bank account, and that's that. And I thought I would share the awesome news with you. Bloody hell, it's 13 minutes already. Lesson learned, don't keep more than like £200-300 in your account. 2, if you do have any problems with PayPal, be it any amount, go to the FBO, file a complaint, which is free, and PayPal will get their act together because they have to comply with this, and it's kind of legal, formal stuff. If they don't reply within 4 weeks, the FBO gets involved. They take it up, and they'll check all the merits of the case, and if PayPal are wrong, they'll order them to pay you up. And if they think, you know what, I'm wrong, then they'll explain why. But in either case, PayPal are still getting charged £360, so right up them. But yeah, that is kind of my story. Have you had fraud kind of undertaken against you guys, or has it panned out? There's probably going to be quite a few of you who've had PayPal nonsense and eBay nonsense. It's a joke. The way PayPal are running, in my opinion, is awful. I would never run an organisation like the way they do. Customer service is non-existent. It's a nightmare trying to get through. 4 to 8 weeks for £1,000. I mean, that is a lot of money. £1,000 just taken out from your account 6 weeks after a transaction took place. The buyers left feedback. What case is there really to fight? It's nonsense. It's just daylight robbery, in my opinion. and I'll leave the kind of steps as to what to do if you don't understand what I'm saying, or if you just want a summary of how to go about getting your money back from PayPal in the subject below, or in the description below, shall I say. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I was in a happy mood, and I thought this warrants an upload, and since I've not done one in a long time on this channel. Cheers, and thanks very much for watching. Cheers.